Great to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation to share tonight. When I look back at so many of those that have shared before me, I realize I am in really good company. So I am humbled to be asked to share stories here tonight. And so I'm really appreciative of this time. And thank you, Marcia, for sharing your stories as well. So the first story that I want to share with you is a story from started as a visitation to a local BNI chapter that I was considering joining. And what happened was I was leaving the meeting, and this really cool car that you see on the screen was sitting in the parking lot. This happened to be it was owned by the president of our chapter. His name is CJ. And at that particular meeting, he announced that his chapter, his Fit Body Boot Camp, was the top fit body boot camp in all of North America. So I walked by, grabbed my phone, took a really quick picture of this really cool car, and went back home, loaded the picture, and sent this message, letting him know, congratulations, really pretty amazing to be recognized as the franchise of the year. And about a week later, I get a phone call from CJ. And I could hear kind of like it was a little different in his voice. And he just said something like, "What is this? What am I looking at here?" He said, "You have to tell me how you created this. This is amazing." So we met, had a coffee. I shared how I did it, showed him how I took the picture, put it on created it with the app on my phone, and how I sent it. He instantly got what this possibility was with this system. So he then took it back to his organization, or to his local gym, and they started using it, incorporating it, sending cards of celebration to the many clients that they serve. Like if it was their first session, they would literally send them out a card when they reached certain milestones, certain weight losses, just number of sessions attended, and just celebrating people. It went over so well that he then went and shared that with the headquarters or the leadership of Fit Body Boot Camp. And they then adopted it, and they have started using send out cards as one of their primary marketing resources. It is one of their tools that they use to celebrate their customers and clients around North America, actually internationally. So hundreds of gyms impacting hundreds of clients all over the world, celebrating and lifting them up just by a simple picture on the phone that I took, put in the app, sent out, and the rest is kind of history. So if you're watching this and you happen to be a Fit Body client and you've received a card from Send Out Cards, now you know how that all started. The second story that I have is probably a bit more on the tearjerker side, just to kind of preface this a little bit. But what happened was I had this urge, or what we really call a prompting, about Christmas time of last year. And it was just kind of rooted in this sort of random acts of kindness. And I thought, this idea of maybe doing this 12 days of giving. So what I thought I would do is go live on Facebook. I would invite people to nominate someone that they know, care, love, family, friend, coworker, just celebrating them. Could be because they needed some encouragement, could be any number of different things. Well, that invitation turned into 650 nominations after just 12 days. We picked 12 gifts from our gift store to send out. One of those that was nominated, you see him on this screen here. Nate was nominated by a high school friend of mine whom I literally have not seen in 30 years, but I have sent cards to, but I have not seen her in a very long time. She nominated Nate. Nate was one of the people drawn and won. I was going to give him some cookies. I reached out to Angela and I said, "Hey, really excited. Nate was our winner for one of our 12 days of giving." She replied and said, "I'm super excited. That's awesome. This is just really good timing. It's just been a difficult time for Nate and his family." I didn't know Nate. I didn't know anything about Nate or his family. Turns out that a few months prior, Nate had lost his wife. And as you can see, they have some beautiful kids. And so I instantly realized this was going to be this family's year of firsts. And we were approaching the holiday, and it would be the first holiday that they would experience without their wife and without their mother. So I got Ange's to give me his address, created the card. I did go to his Facebook page and found these amazing photos of his family and put this message in there, just acknowledging that this was clearly going to be a difficult year, the year of first, and that I understood the grief, having lost my mom at an early age to cancer as well. And so I was going to gift him these cookies, and that didn't seem right. So it turns out that we had this really cool holiday breakfast experience gift, and I put that in along with the card, sent it out. A week later, I get a Facebook message from Nate, and I could feel the emotion, his appreciation for the kindness and the gesture. And you could just feel the emotion. And he then went on to add that he assumed I had spoken a lot with Angela, my high school friend, because he says, you must know that we're a bunch of foodies. Well, it turns out I had no idea that their whole family were foodies. They loved to be in the kitchen and cook together. I just chose this gift kind of at random, following my promptings. It just kind of made sense. Family come together, spend some time during the holiday. And so that went out, and, I just was following my instincts, following my promptings, blessing this family going through an enormously difficult situation. And I'm just so grateful that this system that we have in place gives us this opportunity to celebrate other people, to encourage other people when they're high and when they're low, and that we really have an opportunity to really see them where they are and change people's lives. So those are my stories for tonight. Thank you for letting me share.